We're
All right,
recording.
we're going to call the Monday, October 5th, 2020 meeting to order. We don't have any, do we have anybody from the public here?
No.
No. So moving right along, correspondence. We have the letter from the VNA thanking you for the use of the Guilford room at no charge.
Yeah, that was a hospice event that they did, and so yeah, we didn't charge for it.
All right, so that's good. All right. I mean, it feels like we did. We just met a few weeks ago, so.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to approve the minutes of September 5th. So can I get a motion to approve the September 5th minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the September 5th minutes.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You know what? I'm going to stop for 1 minute and interrupt the meeting. I know, you know, the strange person there is Nicholas, who has joined our commission, and it's so hard to welcome people when we're not all together looking at each other, but welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here. I'm excited to get started.
Hopefully we'll be together at some point in time. Okay, the expenditures. I did talk to Jen last Friday, just to let you know, and this is on the new computer program. And so she's finding her way with this. So she asked us to be kind of patient with it. And she did highlight the kiosk stuff and the Guilford High School stuff, but I'm not sure what the gas thing was part of the high school.
Yeah, and Rose, let me just comment on that. She sent me an update today. There were a couple more added to the high school. So security, you know, the security phone, it was $139.40. There's another water bill for the next month for September. The one you see here, I think was, it was back in May. I don't know why we just got it. I'm sorry, May 5th through August 24th. Okay, that's what it was. But we just got another one for the next quarter. I guess they billed ahead or whatever for $426.29. So the water bill, see over the right where it says GHS total $898.40.
Yeah.
That number should be $1,464.69. And when we get to the last page at the end, I'll tell you what the new total that we'll ask you to approve tonight. But that's the only change since you put this out.
We pay water bills before we use the water?
And you know, one of them might be the
I don't know. I don't have water
I
bills.
didn't actually see the bill, but sometimes we get like the sprinkler bill, fire protection is quarterly. I think that's what the other one is a quarterly bill.
Oh, all right. Okay. So any other questions on these bills? Took me a while to go.
Yeah, Rick, on September 25th, the water damage work, that's from the chimney that was leaking?
No, that was
from the, when they're checking the water pressure in the...
yes, I believe that was checking the water pressure.
Which one was that? Or which bill you looking at?
September 25th, water damage work. Strategic security.
6,000 there. Yeah, security. Well, the strategic security, that's actually the security camera in the building. I can't remember if I emailed you guys all about this, but we had a sprinkler when the company was coming and doing the sprinkler test.
Oh, yeah, you told us.
They had a camera, a lot of water came in. And so I don't have the totals, but I think it's going to be around $20,000 of damage.
Wow.
Total. And all that will be reimbursed by insurance, but we have to pay it up front. Then we'll get reimbursed.
Yeah, good, thanks, Rick. Yeah, you did tell us about that. Rick, the roofing, $4,100, that's for...
That was remember the problem we had, the Quantapug room, Todd found a leak inside the Quantapug room.
Okay, got it.
Talk about the chimney repairs, and that was all part of it. And we double checked with, here Suzanne's just joining now. We double checked with Steve Neidorf. He was up on the roof and he said it had nothing to do with the roof replacement we recently did. It had to do with flashing, and he was emphatic. It wasn't anything about the workmanship or anything. I don't, you know, I can't tell you 100% understand all of it, but it was a problem with flashing. There were some cracks in the chimney up there, and so all that had to get fixed. That will not be covered by insurance because the deductible is $10,000, and we're at probably about 4,500 or 5,000 for that.
All right, good, thanks. All right.
Any other questions on the bills? Okay, can we get a motion to accept the bills?
So the bottom line, Rose.
Oh yeah, bottom line is,
It'll be $137,810.09.
whoa, wait a minute. Oh. You're counting salaries. No.
Yeah. If you add all that, yes, correct. Then usually you approve all that stuff, but if you approve everything, salaries, add all that
All right.
stuff at the bottom there.
All right. Okay.
This is what he's working on. Is trying to figure out how to get this all in there. It's
Yeah. Okay.
She's working on it.
Give me the total again.
$137. I'm sorry, $137,810.09.
9 cents. Oh, that 9 cents.
I know. Put us
All
on
right.
the top.
So a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the September bills in the amount of $137,810.09.
Second? Come on, somebody.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Sorry, I was mute. I was yelling second.
You got third.
All right, our department reports, director's report.
I'll just highlight a couple. Number 4, the school group uses the second floor. It has worked out very well. I think I even mentioned it last meeting. To my knowledge, they're done on October 16th, unless something drastically changes. But it's my understanding school is going back full time on the 19th. And so if that still is correct, then we'll have use of the second floor again at that point. But it's worked out well. They've been very happy there. It's worked out well for us, for them. And, we're helping the school out. It's been a good thing, I think, for the parents especially. Number 5, I don't know if I sent copies of this to you. I know the protocols, I believe I sent the one on the for reopening senior centers.
Yeah.
I went through the whole reopen rules and I summarized it. And then on September 16th, the rules came out for reopening fitness centers. Now, we're not a fitness center per se, but I looked at a lot of those guidelines and we put them into practice for the community center, for the fitness programs that we're offering there. A lot of it had to do with, they're not going to use any of our weights, stretch bands, anything. They have to bring their own. We have signs that are going up, reminding people to social distance, wear a mask if they're going to be less than 6 feet apart. For active, rigorous programs, they have to be 12 feet apart. And Todd has put big 12-foot squares in there with tape, so they have the kind of their space to work in. Like a yoga class or less rigorous classes, 6 feet is okay. So we did that. I think Ellen sent it out to the fitness instructors to make them aware of these guidelines, and it's a little more cleaning that everybody has to do. One of them being, I've asked all the staff to help disinfect touch points in the bathroom because we have to do it regularly. It doesn't say how often. I'm trying to do it every hour. So what we did was left a spray bottle in each of the restrooms, and we're just saying, hey, look, when you go in there, I want to emphasize, I made it very clear, we're not cleaning toilets. There's nothing like that. And I've done it many times myself. It literally takes 30 seconds. That's it. The product that we have, you just spray it. You don't have to wipe it down or anything. And it's just, the water faucets, paper towel dispensers, soap, anything anybody touches, basically, that's it. And I'm not kidding, it's literally 30 seconds it takes to do it. So I've asked everybody, I said, Todd can't get in there every hour, especially when he's up on the 60-foot lift, trying to, do the sealant on the chimney and everything. And I said, everybody has to help. It's a team effort here. Everyone's got to help out. And I'll say that the vast majority of people are helping do it. Even staff in the kitchen are doing it. So we have a log in the bathrooms. So when it is done, people initial they did it, what time it was, and check off, what they did. And so it's a team effort. People have been very, very helpful so we can get it done. It's for the safety of the staff as well as people using the building. And I just emphasize to everybody. Again, I want to re-emphasize. I said, we're not cleaning toilets. I'm not asking you to do that. Just shoot, just spray the spray bottle on any touch point and help out. So people have been doing it. So that's good. The last thing I'll just mention, number 6, there's a very interesting concept, this ionization motor. I can't give you the scientific explanation, but we met with a representative of the manufacturer, Steve Neidorf, the facilities manager, and Todd and I. And it's something they would connect to our air handler units, and we have 4 of them. And I think you have to have 2 per each unit. And it does something to these ions. Basically, it kills off any virus. It says it kills it off in the ceiling, the air, the floors, the walls, everything. And it's part of the air exchange. It just kills everything that goes in there. And so we're looking into this. Steve is looking into it for all town buildings. For all town buildings, that's a pretty good price tag. But for our building alone, I don't have the exact number, but it's probably around, I'm going to say around $4,000 to do it. But we're hoping that maybe if we do this, it can get charged to the COVID account. We're keeping track of any expenses we're doing that have to do with COVID for the town to get federal reimbursement. And I ran this by Mary Jane, finance director, and she said, well, if you do it, make sure you have money to pay for it in the event we don't get reimbursed. So I think, Steve, I think he's handling the promoting this through the first selectman and board of selectmen, and hopefully they'll approve it, and it doesn't end up coming out of our budget. But I think it'd be a wise thing to do, not only for this year, but every year there's viruses.
Right.
And it just will help kill off everything, in the air. So we've been told, people have talked about ultraviolet light, but we've been told that this is more effective than that is. It kills everything. So
Who told us that?
well, the representative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to look into this a little more carefully. I'm all for it, but let's make sure we're doing the right thing and that we don't
Right.
put this in there for all that money and find out it doesn't do.
I think Steve is looking at researching, other people who know
Alright.
about the stuff to see what they think about it. But anyway, sounds very promising if it works.
Yeah.
How do we know if it works? How do they measure by telling you it works? Like, how do they measure that?
Well, they have them in existence in other places, and I don't know. I don't know if there's somehow to measure viruses, but they also said it takes out any smells in the air. Like, say if Larry was cooking liver and onions or something, they claim it would even take that smell out of you. You wouldn't even smell it in the building. So, yeah, obviously Steve is going to research it a bit and find out, but it sounds like a very unique and very interesting idea.
I think it sounds great if we are sure it works. And I think I might even read up on it in my spare time, just because I'm kind of, airlines, airplanes filter their air so many times. So I know that this can be done. I've just never heard of this before. So it's kind of exciting and interesting.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if hospitals use it.
Yeah,
If
I
hospitals use
think
it.
they do, but I'm going to check on that. That's a good question. I thought they said you did. Let me
Rick,
check.
what's the brand on it?
I don't know. I don't remember what it is. I can't tell you. I'm sorry. I should have written that down. I don't know. But I'll find out. Brand. And, yeah, because Nicholas, you work with COVID situations, right? And so you might know something about it if we can find out.
Nothing with the ionization, nothing with any sort of sprays and that type of thing. It's a pretty cavalier approach. At least on my side of things, it's cappy wipes. It's a lot of the heavy hitters, if you will.
Yeah.
That all of us are pretty familiar with.
I'll find that out and I'll get info out to everybody. But yeah, again, it's a very interesting concept. And if it's something that we can find has a proven history of working, I think it's well worth pushing it.
Oh yeah, well, especially for the seniors, and it's nice to not have colds go spreading through, even when COVID is over. So viruses holds. But let's make sure it works before we put that kind
Might get it from my tax office.
of money into it. Yeah, really. All right. Any questions for Rick? Any other questions?
Yeah, Rick, one more, number 9. And I know Rose mentioned a while back that I guess maybe people are encroaching on Chittenden Park there. What's,
We have that on the agenda, and if you want me to wait and address it there, but it's under unfinished business and new business, the wetlands area. If you, do you want to wait on that, Rose? or you
yeah, whatever.
Yeah. We could wait.
Okay.
Rick, on number 4, the school groups. So obviously right now we are scheduled to go back October 19th. There has not been mention that we would not. But have they reached out to us for future plans should the winter hit and it colds and COVID and everything, flu season gets to too much and the school does close down again? Have they worked with us to ask about redoing it again? How that would look if we've closed the schools? Would we be closing the rec center? Any discussion?
No, they only asked us to commit up through October 15th, and nothing beyond that. I suppose, to your point, if it starts all over again, I'm sure we're going to get asked again. But, you know, we are starting to gradually introduce programs. And you probably saw in Terry's report, there are several senior programs going now. And don't forget, the over 65 population is the one that, you know, is advised to stay home. But they're begging us, more than any other group, the seniors are begging us to start getting stuff going. Mm-hmm. And so we have a few things going. And we do have, I think, 1 or 2 fitness classes for non-senior fitness classes. And we have a couple of kids programs going on right now. And some pop-up things coming up. But staff have been purposely a little slow to start a lot of things. So we didn't know what we were gonna have available to us. We didn't schedule anything upstairs at all yet, not knowing. But
Terry sent out, actually, I think if people got it in the mail today, the seniors bulletin came out.
Yeah.
And I know we've started Italian class, but we're talking about trying to move back upstairs because it's very hard to talk in the acoustics downstairs.
Yeah.
But I think French class is starting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few things that are starting up and want to use the bigger rooms that are upstairs. So they're starting after October 19th. But Claire, to answer your question, I don't know what'll happen if, you know, would we have to cancel all our programs? I don't know. We'd have to cross that bridge when and if we get there.
Yeah.
Okay, Anthony's report. Parks foreman. Any questions on that? Guys have been busy.
Yeah, well, he said we lost 2 part-timers. We actually lost 3 part-timers. We have no part-timers
Yeah.
now. Lost all of them.
Lost all of them? We lost the 3rd one now too?
Yeah, well, one of them moved to Virginia, a young guy. Another young guy went to Utah to look at a college and decided not to come back. And then another guy, you know, for the pay, he just said, I'm not going to do it for this, so he left. So we have no seasonal. Normally, right now, we have 2 seasonal guys, and we have none. So they're working.
Too late here to advertise for this, or are we just going to hold off till spring, or what are we going to do?
I have the applications of people who applied for the full-time position that didn't get the full-time one when that opened up. And so I'm going to call some of them and see if any of them are interested in seasonal. You know, they probably, who knows, you know, gets their foot in the door. But we always say, even if you work seasonal, we can't guarantee you're going to get the job. You know, I mean, that's what happened to the guy who left. It was seasonal. He applied for the full-time position. Somebody else had better experience and did better on the interview, and we hired him. So he didn't get it, and he left. So we can't guarantee they're going to get it. You know, we have to get the best qualified people we can. The guys,
No, I agree.
you know, the guys need the help.
But we need to find people. I mean, that's the problem.
Right. So I'm going to start with the applications that we already have for full-time and see if anybody's interested. If not, then, you know, Mitch is going to advertise it, I guess. But, you know, we advertise this, we get 0 or 1 applicant. We just don't get anybody. People don't apply for these jobs. Just don't pay enough.
Well, that is a problem.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, it's sad to say, but you're probably better off on unemployment than you are working part-time. Doing that. I mean, it's a terrible state of affairs, but
Yeah.
sometimes, you know. All right, any other question? Any questions about Anthony's report? Pretty straightforward here.
Rick, how's the garbage going and recycling?
Very good. The guys, I don't want to say they love the job, but they like it a lot better than they used to. The truck is great because it's just, got the grab thing that picks up the barrel and dumps it. Just, the labor is pushing a button or a lever, and that's it. They, quite frankly, it's probably one of the easier jobs the guys have because there's really very, very little labor or no labor with it. It's going well. I've talked to, different guys who are doing it. It's not the same guy all the time. They all know how to do it. And I've talked to several of them when they've stopped by the community center, if I see them on the green or someplace. And I haven't heard a complaint from anybody about doing it. It's working well. It's a nice looking truck too. If you've seen it around town.
It is, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I put up at Chapter. What happens in the winter? What are we doing? Do we
In the
pull some of these barrels in, or what do we?
Well, we still have them at the beach. People still go there.
Yeah.
They still have lunch there and whatever. We
I
reduce
had
them a
lunch
lot.
last week. Yeah.
We take them off all the parks.
All right.
I think
yeah.
Chaffage we leave them though, because people still go there in the winter. Binner, they're still hiking or using a
Yep.
skate park without snow. So it'll be greatly reduced. Like Quantapop, for example, we took them out of there because we were closed.
Yeah.
Get them off all the fields, so it'll diminish a lot.
Okay. Good. Okay. Oh, we don't have a. Okay. Recreation report, right?
Yep. Not sure why that didn't get done. I asked everybody to do one.
Okay.
But Darius is here. Mistake. Jen put recreation supervisor Terry Buckley. Should be senior supervisor.
Senior supervisor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
That was a little glitch.
I know. Canceled, and
Yeah.
I talked with Terry on Friday as well when I was down there, and I guess the buying of the groceries for people is better. They got a few more volunteers, but I guess somebody called in sick Friday and she was running out, and it's working, but I don't know how much longer it's going to work.
It only works if we have volunteers.
Yeah, I like the idea of this, but as if we start to open the community center a little more and people start to do groceries a little more and want to come in for programs, our buses are going to get, well, they don't use the buses, but our
Right.
staff is going to get awfully busy.
Yeah.
So
You can see from a report, the numbers went down from 191 down to 70 people now. And
Right.
so it is reduced a lot. But again, it's all relying on getting volunteers to help, because we're not going to have, we don't want staff on a regular basis to do this. Terry's done some, Patty's done some
I know.
shopping, and we really can't do that. But sometimes they've done it because the people need the groceries and there's nobody to get it. So they've gone and done it, but not every week, but it has happened.
Is there a time in which we should start fading in the end? Start giving notice? It seems like we can't just abruptly say, okay, we're stopping.
I know. I talked to Terry a little bit about this, and the thing with all of our staff is they've got big hearts.
Hmm.
And I don't know that she, I think she thinks that there's some people that may still need this even after things are good, and she may want to try to keep it up. I don't know if she can, but I've sort of said the same thing, do we wind down? What do we do? But she feels these people really, really need it.
Well, and it's also part of the equation, like we don't know what we're heading into in the winter. I mean,
Right.
the numbers may go back up again, which means more volunteers. And
Exactly. So, we have to look at this, I guess, week by week and month by month and see how it goes. It's a great program. It's just, again, the staffing.
Yeah. Yeah. And we knew that this was going to get to this point where this was going to happen. There's something that people are going to really like and, be happy to have, and it's going to be hard to end it.
Yeah.
But I think, again, if we don't get volunteers, it's going to be hard to keep it going.
It is. Okay. And if we look at the very bottom, I mean, she tells you pickleball's going, Tai Chi, Italian, oil painting, and she's going to start ballroom line dance, yoga, impact aerobics, and French. So
yeah. And Bocce's going. That was on.
well,
Bocce,
we're just sort of, yeah, Bocce's going. So all right, so we are busy.
How old do you have to be a senior for these?
I don't
officially
know.
55.
We don't care.
Oh, I'm a senior. Wee.
Well, hey, Bocce, well, no, for Phil, in the spring, come join us for Bocce Tuesday mornings.
You're a junior, senior.
A junior, senior. I don't think anybody cares. Just come.
Yeah.
Okay. And the building maintenance.
I want to give a good shout out to Todd. I mean, he did a great job. He never operated a 60-foot lift before, but he did. I mean, he was on that thing and he learned how to figure it out. He was up, way up 60 feet high by the chimney there. And he sealed the entire chimney. I mean, he saved us. I think the quote we had from somebody was in the thousands to do this. And we rented the lift. The lift was about $900. But he did both chimneys just to, make sure they were both done, sealed them. He and Steve put a cap. Remember I mentioned there was also a crack on the top of the chimney. They got a lead-coated copper cap manufactured, and they put that up there. He cleaned all the gutters, went over to the library, helped them clean their gutters. They're going to give us $300 toward the cost of this, the rental. I said, look, while you're at it, there are a couple trees around the back of the building. They're kind of blocking some of the lamps. So he trimmed some branches, and he became quite an expert with that thing. But that's part of the reason I wanted staff to help in the, disinfect the bathrooms, because he was tied up with that thing. He couldn't keep coming in and out, and not get that job done. So,
No.
We all kind of chipped in, but he did a great job. I really want to give him credit for that.
He did. The water damage in the the lead room. Are we going to have to replace the flooring in there, or what?
Yeah, well, we talked to a flooring company. We're waiting to get a quote from them, but their initial reaction was you can't get that kind of wood anymore. It's very, very thin. I think it's only about a 1/4 inch thick. It's very, very thin wood, and it is wood. It's solid wood, and they didn't think we could even get it anywhere. So we got to think about that. We really can't sand it down. It's all bubbled up. If you've seen it, can't sand it. I guess short term we could put leave a little table over it or something. It's just something I think somebody could trip on if they're kind of shuffling their feet. We don't want somebody getting hurt. The other option is, if we can't get that wood, do we have to rip it all up and
Put a whole new floor.
artificial, artificial floorboards that it's more like a vinyl, but it looks like wood. It's just such a beautiful room, and the guys did a great job refinishing that before this happened. Todd and the part-time custodial guys sanded that down and put, I think, 4 coats of finish on it. And then we had that leak from the showers, during the tropical storm.
All right. Keep us informed. The other question I had is the exterior windows need to be repaired and painted. Aren't we slowly replacing all of our windows here?
Yeah, I'm not sure which ones he meant on that, but they replaced a certain number of them. But I think we put in the 5-year capital budget to pick up to start replacing more of them every few years.
Okay.
So I don't know which ones he's talking about there.
All right. Okay. Any other questions, guys? All right. Ever onward. Standing fields.
Just dealing with an allergy. It's allergy. Don't worry, it's nothing worse.
Oh, I know.
Standing field. We met last week. They're actually doing field walk this Saturday, the 10th, starting at the high school stadium field. And usually we walk all the fields and do it all in one day. It takes about 4 or 5 hours.
Oh,
and so they're meeting at 7 o'clock at the high school to start that. Really, most of the conversation has been about the replacement of the synthetic turf at the high school, which is the track and turf going to replace, paid for by the Board of Education. A lot of talk about the infill. We had a big discussion about that at the last meeting. As you know, what's on there now is the crumb rubber. The Board of Ed opted to not go with that on the newer field. That's it's called EnviroFill. It's an acrylic coated sand. There are pros and cons either way, but almost all the players and all the coaches do not like the infill in the upper field, the sand. They just don't like it. It's abrasive. Kids, when they fall on it, they get more, bruises, cuts and scrapes and stuff. And unanimously, I'd say they like the crumb rubber better. The crumb rubber has been studied over and over again, nationally, internationally, and every study concludes there are no health risks with it. But there's still a perception that some people have that there's some cancer agents in the VOCs, volatile organic chemicals, I think that stands for. And our field is one that was studied when it first came out, and it was proven there was nothing there. But anyway, there's still a perception that people have. So everyone kind of thinks the Board of Ed probably won't go with that product, even though it's the least expensive, the one everybody likes the best. So what the field committee has recommended, acrylic coated rubber. It's rubber, but it's coated with this acrylic product. They have it at the Indian River Complex in Clinton. I talked to my counterpart there. He said that field's 10 years old. They're hoping to get 6 more years out of it. It's in pretty good shape after 10 years. Ours is 14 years right now. It does have to get replaced. But so the recommendation the field committee is giving to the Board of Ed, number one would be the acrylic coated rubber. Number two, the acrylic coated sand, like on the new field up top. Number three, the regular crumb rubber, like what is there now. There's one other product that's called Brockfill. It's a wood product. It's like mulch, basically. It's got some interesting characteristics, but we all kind of agree that it's too new. It's only been out for like a year. And you have to recoat it every 3 to 4 years, which, what's that mean? It breaks down. And what does wood do when it breaks down? It becomes almost like compost. So we have to worry about bugs. We have to worry about weeds growing in it. So we weren't, no one was supportive of that product. Maybe in 10 years, I'll find it's good, but not yet. I don't think we're ready for it. We don't want to be a guinea pig to try it out. So that's pretty much what most of the conversation has been about with the field committee about that project.
Okay, Green Committee.
They did have a meeting 2 weeks ago. Mostly the conversation was about
A dead tree?
Yeah, because we talked about, and we did approve the bench for
Right.
Sarah McCulloch at Rollwood Park, but I brought it up at the Green Committee, said that their preference would be on the green because she was the chair of the Green Committee.
Right.
But they have a very, very strict policy on benches, and it's pretty much like no benches or no plaques or anything. But like what Claire just created, they have a kind of a detailed form that has to go to Board of Selectmen if they want to have a plaque or a bench or anything, or tree even on the green. So I got an email today from Sarah McCulloch's daughter, and I let her know that the Parks and Rec Commission did approve it at Rollwood. That it came up, for the Green Committee, but they weren't at all enthusiastic about it. Kind of say it that way, I guess. And so they would like to go forward and do it at Rollwood. But anyway, that's mainly the Green Committee was talking about bench policies and a couple other, what kind of maintenance we're doing on the green and that kind of thing.
Okay. Claire, land acquisition. No.
Nothing to report.
I know. We would just like to know you're there, Claire.
Well, actually, I wasn't, but there's still a report.
Tennis was, but I have no idea either. Okay. Splash pad, just on hold, huh?
Yep. Nothing to report new there.
I bought my brick.
Yay, thank you.
Yes. Okay, unfinished business. Here we go. The ADA at Chaffridge Island. Eventually that's going to get there.
Yes. We know about it when Tony's,
A long season,
when we keep losing help, he just can't get to it. But he knows it's on his list. And, I talk to him periodically about, hey, we've got to try to get it done. He said, okay, but do you want me not to seed? Do you want me not to aerate right now? What do I have to drop to do it? So we will get it done.
Can we do that in the winter when it's cold out?
Could.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as the ground's not frozen.
We'll see. Okay. Boiler replacement, is it done?
Still a couple punch list items. We're getting there. A couple little glitches still, but it's getting there.
All right.
We certainly want it done before we start heating season, that's for sure. And that's coming up.
Well, we're awfully close, Rick. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The disc golf, we have a tournament coming up, right?
October 17th to benefit Meals on Wheels.
Okay. All right, the pickleball tennis courts.
So it goes to Wetlands Commission this month and Planning and Zoning this month. And
Good.
hopefully we'll be able to go out to bid. I haven't been able to connect with Mike Ott to get the bid specs out. I mean, I want to get them out to bid like now. So that as soon as it's approved by Wetlands and Planning and Zoning, we could go ahead with it, and not wait till after the approval and then bid it. Because I can tell you, it's probably not going to happen this fall if we wait that long. So I've been pushing Mike several times a week, and he knows. He's actually, I was hoping that we were going to go to the standing building committee tomorrow night. They want to have the final draft of the project so they can approve the specs for it. And I haven't heard back from him that he's going to be able to do that.
Okay. All right. Corn pot room chimney, that's done now, right?
Yeah.
No. Yes.
Done.
All done. All right, so we can take that off for next month. The the Chittenden Park survey pins, did they go in? I saw you down there. They're supposed to do it last Tuesday.
I do it last week. I thought they were going to be that day that I saw you down there. They weren't there when I was there. I'm assuming they were in because Janice said they were going to be going in like that day. And so I don't know if they came later in the day or the next day, but they're supposed to be in. I can double check with her tomorrow and find out if they did it. I just want to report because the commission approved $1,000 to pay for Malone and McBroom to do that. And so I want to let you know that it's either done or should be done. Again, I thought they were doing it last Tuesday.
All right. Well, I haven't had a chance to get down there to look myself.
Rick, with that, the pins going in, so we obviously are doing it because we were questioning where our lines were and we thought people were infringing. So when the pins go in, if we have a resident that has gone over the line or is right on the line, are we doing anything about it, or are we just letting it go that like from now on this is the line? Like,
no, Rick and I have talked a little bit about that. I mean, I think people are passing the buck, to be honest with you, I think, on this one. I mean, we have some people who are 5 feet over the line. That white fence, that is way over the line.
Yeah, like maybe 50.
Other people, yeah, way over. And if you're facing the water, those houses on the left, they're infringing a little bit. I personally think they ought to get letters or something from the town to tell them that. But I think, did we get a new town attorney? Somebody help me out. Do we have a new town attorney?
Well, Peter Barrett is acting attorney right now, filling in. I don't know what they're going to do going forward. But the Pam Millman was town attorney, and purchasing. So I'm not sure if they're going to restructure that. I haven't heard what they're going to do.
But she's still here. She's still here? Or?
No, she left. She left September 18th, I think, or something.
I missed that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Rick, if Peter Barrett's our acting town attorney, can you talk to him and maybe, nice, lawyerly, friendly letter? I mean, I think we have to let these people know that we are aware that they are over the line.
Well, there's got to be, if we're spending the money to do it, there's got to be a reason why we're doing that, and like consequences. If I did that to my neighbors, I'd have to remove my stuff.
Exactly.
So, It's our land.
How else are they, beside, I can't picture the fence. Where's the fence?
If you're facing the water, it's way over on the right. Those houses on the right.
Oh, yeah, just down there. Okay, I saw that fence. So that fence is on the,
I thought it was on the left.
no,
If you're
if you're,
facing the water,
no, if you're in a soccer field facing the water, it's a brand new white fence on the right.
Correct.
I don't know that it's brand new, but it's been there a while. But yeah,
Yeah, so, yeah, I noticed it. I was down there last week, and I've just never noticed it, but, so that fence there, that's on Chittenden Park property?
yes.
Well, it's gotta be removed then. I mean,
But we're certainly not going to send Rick down there to tell these people that either. That's
oh,
not his
absolutely,
job,
yeah, absolutely.
You know? So yeah, this is something the town has to.
Yeah, Rose, how else are they, how else are other people encroaching down there?
On the other side,
Yeah,
when you
where the
first-
house is.
that very first house sort of expanded their garden, and that's a little bit on our property. And
Okay,
then farther down, about halfway through, I believe somebody has put in a paved driveway and paved it a little bit farther than they should have, and they parked their truck there. So if you look straight, you see this little thing come out, and then it goes straight again.
yeah.
You know,
No, I'm with Claire.
not by a lot. Is that the ones on the left? Not by a lot, but my concern is that if and when we decide to do something down there, we don't want people to say, well, you're too close to our property line, or, you know, you can't do this because we've been using this land. And, you know, they need to be made aware that if we're going to use this for a field, or if we're going to put more bocce courts, if we're going to do pickleball court, whatever, that is town property.
Yeah, so how long is that, so looking at the water, the fence on the right, how long has that fence been there? Ballpark.
Oh, I don't know. A couple of years, Rick? What do you think?
Say 2 or 3 years probably.
And then when did we find out that it was on Park and Rec, or on Chittenden Park?
A few months ago.
Okay, and yeah, I'm with Claire, I mean, yeah.
No. I mean, somebody came to me a while ago. I mean, it's been almost more than a year that we've been sort of going back and forth with town hall over who's going to pay, you know, to get this surveyed. Well, we've got maps somewhere. Well, we can't find the map, and the map is someplace else. And then, well, you know, then they want us to pay, but it's town property. The town should pay. So we went round and round on this. And then when we get to our new business item about the wetlands, because the town had to survey to do that, that's how we finally got this thing surveyed.
Okay.
I mean, they kept putting us off, right, Rick?
Yeah.
So
If we do nothing, do they end up with squatters' rights, and then we couldn't make them go off the
doubt it.
property unless we notify them, as Claire's suggesting?
well, I think we have to notify them no matter what.
Yeah.
They need to know that we're aware of this. But again, you know, we thought, you know, the town engineer says, oh, I don't do that. And so I don't do that. Well, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah,
And
the town attorney,
Yes,
yeah, the town attorney's gotta send a letter out sooner rather than later.
I would think so. So why don't you get a hold of Peter Barrett and see if you can get him to do that, Rick?
I will. Yeah.
All right. So speaking of Chittenden Park,
Excuse me, Rose, if I just, one thing else I want to mention under unfinished business there.
Sure.
The Bill Wallach Fields.
yeah,
Upper Cox. Money has been coming in. Ellen, I spoke with today that one individual sent in $2,500.
oh, isn't that nice?
And I think we're up maybe around 4,000 right now. So plenty to put a sign up. Way more than what we need for a sign. And then whatever other improvements that we might want to do up there, that money would go toward it.
So did you let them know that we've got the money enough for the sign?
I just found this out from her today. So yeah, we will. Yeah.
And when did they want to do anything? When did they want to?
I think in the spring, you know, they want to be able to do a
so there's no
dedication of a bill there, you know, and I
right.
can't do it now.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
whenever this thing gets, we
I
get
wasn't
past.
sure if they were here to do it sooner, but okay, perfect.
No.
Okay. Rick, you want to talk about the wetlands at Chittenden?
So part of the reason this whole thing got surveyed, Rose and I met with, probably about a year ago, right? We met with the
Yeah.
engineer and I think Matt Hoey. For various reasons, the town, the DEP has says the town needs to give up some space for wetlands. And the place that seemed to make the most sense to town engineer and others was at Chittenden. And basically it's behind the backstop. It's not an area we use anyway. That part, we mow it, but there's nothing we can do there. I think it's about 3/4 of an acre. I have the map in the office. I believe it's about 3/4 of an acre, but if you look at the backstop, there's that big sort of rock boulders to the left of the backstop. If you're looking at the walkway that goes to the beach over there, it's that area. They're going to extend the walkway from where it ends now right up to the boulder, pretty much. So it's, I don't know, maybe 50 feet, 30 feet, something like that. And so they're going to claim a little bit to the east. So again, if you're looking at the boardwalk that goes to the beach area, to the left of that, some of that to the left, and then to the right, the boulder, and then behind the backstop. Not sure it's going to have any real impact on the soccer field. A kind of good thing with this, I talked to Janice, our engineer, beyond the soccer goal that's on the parking lot side of that field, it's very low. There's a wet area there. So we're pretty limited where that soccer field can go. So I suggested, well, while they're doing this, they have to do a little bit of grading. I said, well, can we, actually she even suggested raising up that low spot. So that gives us a little flexibility what we can do with that soccer field. So it won't be a wet spot. And then we also talked about the Little League field hasn't been used for a few years. We've talked to Little League, they don't see any need for it. That'll come out of commission. The wetland area is going to come pretty close to where that is anyway. But that's all clay. So if we get that graded out and put topsoil in there, we can make real grass grow there, not just the weeds that are growing now because it's clay, it's not topsoil. So we might be able to get some pretty nice improvements out of this, that won't cost us to do it. And I don't know what the timeline is when they're going to do this, but it's about 3/4 of an acre. And again, most of it is area that's behind the backstop, an area that doesn't really impact us at all. She did suggest maybe moving the soccer field a little bit, but we can't move it unless they do some of that grading we talked about. So I think we're going to be able to get it all worked out.
Rick, what do you mean? So the state said that we have to give up wetland. What do they mean by that? We have to.
You have to have a certain percentage of wetlands, apparently, right? Because we're a shoreline town.
Yeah.
So townwide, the state of Connecticut says we have to have a certain amount of wetland. So they did a survey and said we didn't have enough. I mean, I'm confused.
Well, I think didn't we lose a little? Somebody did something. We lost a little bit of wetland somewhere else in town. I'm not sure where.
Right.
And so they had to make up for that little bit of wetlands that they lost, and so this is where they decided to make it up.
And now, so what do they do to turn it into wetland?
I think they're just going to let it go, right?
Well, they're going to let it go. They're going to create a little bit of a swale, so the water, sort of the marshy area. What we mow now will not be grass; will become marsh. So they're going to lower it a little bit so the water can, not like there's going to be water there, but the soils, the marshy type soils, are going to be able to come into that area as it gets wet. It'll become a wetland, basically, a marsh.
So they have to regrade it so it's lower so the water will come up. Is everything?
A little bit of regrading and or some swales. There's a swale that's going to go kind of like where that boulder is toward that property where that white fence is that we're talking about. They're going to swale that to allow the water to kind of come in there during the high tides, I guess, and it'll help convert that into a marsh.
Marsh. But we don't really lose too much by that.
No, we're not using that softball field anyway, and I'm not sure we would really lose that anyway. Maybe we lose deep right field, I guess, if we were using it. But again, the advantage may be if we fill in that low area that we have, it'll actually be a benefit to the soccer field. We can move it around a little bit. Right now, we can't really orient it any different from what we have. We don't have like 15 feet, like at Bittner Park. That field's wide enough that in the spring we have it in a certain location, and then in the fall we move it 15 feet over one way. So it changes the wear pattern in front of the goal areas. So that's a great advantage to that field for wear and tear. We don't have that availability to do that at Chittenden. We might have it a little bit better if they fill this area in.
Rick, I'd like a plaque at that field if you're gonna take it down, because my son had a triple play there at that field.
Oh, yeah?
An unassisted triple play, so a plaque would be nice if you're gonna take it down.
We can talk about that.
All right. Preferably on a bench.
You're gonna have to fill out my form.
Yeah.
So speaking of your form, thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
I have it somewhere. What did I do? Anyway, it sort of some of it goes along with the policy that we had in our folder. So if it's okay with you, could we just combine all the information into one?
Fine by me.
Okay. So I'll look at the two of them and we'll combine it. And then looking at this, Rollwood Park, Rick, at this point is filled.
Mhm.
We're done.
With this new bench?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I mean, that park, according to, when we went and decided how many could go everywhere. So.
And we did talk with the daughter of, Sarah's daughter of Abina, more of a park bench as opposed to one of those
Oh,
granite
no,
benches.
that's what we said. Yes. We only do
Yeah.
park benches now. No more
Right.
stone, no more stone memorials here. No.
Yeah, and they're good with that. They love that idea, and they like. We talked about to the east or the left of Stonehenge there, the foundation, and they I guess they were here a lot. They live up in like New Hampshire or Vermont or something. They were down here evidently last week, and they looked at that area and they love it. They thought it's a good spot.
Okay.
They're very thankful for the commission approving this. They were over the top thankful.
Okay. So just so you know, though, we have filled Rollwood Park.
Okay.
So if anybody else comes along, they have to find someplace else. Okay. All right. Any other business, guys?
I have two questions, hopefully quick.
Yeah.
Do we know if Troy did his fire pit up at Quantified? Is it complete?
I didn't hear back from him. He was going to do it last weekend, I think, but I have not. I gave them the combination to get up in there, so I assume they did, but I haven't heard back from them.
Okay. And then also for Guilford Basketball League, any discussion on putting the hoops back up and who's making that decision?
Health director, I just talked to her today about it again because I got an email from somebody asking about it. The hoops are up at Adams and they're up at Bittner. The only place they're not up is at the police department right now. And Dennis Johnson, I got his approval to do the other ones, partly because the vice principal at Adams had requested we put them back up there for the kids in recess. So we got those up like the next day. And I said, well, look, if we're doing that, why can't we do Bittner? And so we did. They wanted us to hold off of the police department ones because they attract a lot of people from all over the place.
Mhm.
And so I spoke with our new health director today. She said she'll take a ride out there tomorrow to look at it. I said, well, what if we put it up but we don't, the police department managed the lights there. I said, what if we don't have the lights on or have them off by like 7 o'clock or something so you don't have people playing there 9, 10 o'clock at night. If you're worried about people coming from all over using it and you're worried about the spread of the virus, you kind of try to keep a little bit more local than have it on during the daytime. Have them open during the daytime. So she's going to look at it. She still wasn't too excited about doing it, although I said it. Madison has them up. Branford does. They have for a while. And it's all being governed by the health department. And Dennis was fantastic. I'm not saying it's all to criticize him. I tried pushing, but his rationale was, it's one thing if it's like youth basketball using them and they have some supervision. When you get people with pickup, they come from all over the place. They're gonna, man to man defense. They're not doing 6 foot social distancing playing basketball.
No, they're not.
But their argument is youth football is playing football, lacrosse is playing, soccer is playing, and there's a lot of close contact right off basketball. So, other than I guess they're sharing a ball, that's definitely a factor. But the other thing I said, the phase 3 reopening is supposed to be announced this week, October 8th, and we'll see if there's any changes. The only changes I've heard about so far are they're going to allow more people in a restaurant, and for private gatherings, you can have, instead of 100 people, you can have 150. But I don't know what else it means. We know we're not doing the trunk or treat because we have 1,000 people for that. We can't do it. We're already talking about the tree lining is probably not going to happen this year. I think it'll get lit, but it probably won't be, some event with it, unless things change for the good. But right now, if the governor is saying you got to keep it to 500, how do you do it? Just like we couldn't run our concerts. Believe me, this is driving us all pretty crazy.
Actually, you just remind me one more piece of new business. The email that you sent out about advertising the house decorating.
Oh, right.
Did everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
So what are your feelings?
I'm happy to advertise it personally, and I will take the information and I'll put it on my Facebook page. I'm not really sure. I mean, the stuff we advertise for Guilford Youth and Family is usually events that we are co-sponsoring with them, right?
Correct.
I mean, if it was a town event, I would have no problem us doing that, but this is a private organization, and it's just kind of like the St. George's wanting to put a banner up, a sign up at one of our parks. If we do it for one, we've got to do it for all. So my feeling is no, but I'll personally will forward that information on.
Yeah, I agree with Claire. That's well said. And
I agree too.
simple as that.
Okay, Frick, you got your feedback.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to run it by you guys. I agree. I was thinking the same thing. It's a great idea. And I wish we thought of it first because, we can't do trunk or treat. It's an excellent idea, but it's a private organization. And I think it would open up a can of worms if we start doing it. Who do we say no to?
Well, we can do it for December holidays.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, there's an idea.
Yeah, yeah, good. Yeah. We better
Just
jump
get
on
it announced before they do it.
Yeah, I was just like, quick, tell them now that we're doing it for December.
Yeah.
Years ago we did that with Christmas lights. We had staff go around with it. And did you do that, Claire? Did you go on that bus trip? We took the senior bus and we had judges go around, and I thought you might have done, somebody in the commission I think did. And
I didn't do it, but the pictures were awesome from it.
Yeah. Yeah, so let me make a note. House decorating.
It's a good idea, Tara.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. It'll make you happy too, like driving around and seeing if people really get into it to drive around and see all these houses.
And people will, because there's nothing else to do this year.
Yeah.
So I could see people getting excited about something.
You can also do a virtual snowman. So when it starts to snow, you have everyone make a snowman, send their picture in of their snowman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have the scarecrows down on the green. That's real, not just virtual.
Yes, that was nice.
That was awesome.
And
I like the painting too, the painted windows.
The windows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was our staff with Ellen with Youth and Family Services did that together.
Yeah, looks great.
Have a beautiful day. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Any other business?
I don't have business. I have two random small questions.
I'll take your random question.
One is, remember, this was a long time ago now, there was an Eagle Scout project with that cool mosaic.
Mosaic.
Whatever happened with that?
Which one was it?
We don't know.
The mosaic down at, they're going to put that beautiful thing. We talked about that a while ago. I forgot.
He decided not to have it outdoors. I think he might have done it at the First Congregational Church or somewhere else, but he decided not to put it outdoors.
Okay, because I mean, I hope it's somewhere. I saw him in progress doing it because he was working at the church, and I saw it so long ago. And I thought about it over the summer when I was at the beach, and then I was just there yesterday and thought, oh, I need to ask about that because it was so cool, but it's clearly not on the kiosk there. And then my second question, since I was there yesterday, is does someone closes the gate, right? But what time? I thought so many cars were last night. I mean, there was absolutely nothing wrong going on. It was just people sitting there, but it got dark so quickly, and I was there myself, but I was amazed at the number of cars, and I kept thinking someone was going to come and lock it up because it was fully dark. I'm just curious.
Was this last night?
Last night.
Yeah, usually Barry goes, he locks them all up. That may be the last place he goes, so maybe it's 8:30, 9 o'clock by the time he gets there. But it was before. It just now it gets dark so early, so it seemed later to me.
it would be wise for it to be the last place to go, because I'm sure that's where the most people might
Right.
still be sitting. But
Yeah, there are times that people are there and they can't find them. They're yelling out, calling for them. Cars may be there, maybe somebody parked there and they went somewhere else. And so they those nights they have to leave them unlocked. But they put we have a notice they put on their windshield,
Mhm.
reminding them, look, I came, your car was here. Please be sure next time to know that we can lock up at whatever the time is. And
right.
so we give them a warning. We're not gonna lock them in. We can't. Although we did, somebody got locked in at Bidner, and they went through the gate. They actually broke the gate. I don't know what their car looked like afterwards, but they ran through it. And the gate was broken, and I'm sure the car was broken more.
Don't we have signs up that say park closes at sunset or something? Don't we have any of that?
I think we have them.
I thought we did. No?
Yeah, I believe. I mean, are they at all the places? I
don't know. I mean, I drive in and out so much, I don't look.
Exactly. They may be there, and you drive by so many times you don't even notice it anymore.
I think there is a sign. I'm not usually there at that hour. It was totally lovely. There were people, with blankets and eating pizza and whatever, but there were so many cars there, more than the people I could see, that I just was curious about what was going on, so.
You thought there was a party, huh?
I know.
What were you doing down there, Tara?
I had a lovely evening, or like 3 hours sitting from late afternoon on the beach with an old dear friend who I hadn't seen in a long time. And we had our blankets over our laps sitting on the beach, and it was beautiful. So I may have to do it again.
Fantastic.
It is shocking, though, how many people are down there during the day, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you expect this time of year to see nobody, and we went down the other day for lunch, and boy, there was people everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised. There were a lot of people.
It is shocking. I mean, they're really using our parks and the green. I've never seen so many people on the green in my life.
The green,
That's absolutely true. At
Beautiful.
lunchtime, or
Sitting in a
with their
circle.
parents.
right. You see knitters out
Yes.
there, and yeah.
I mean, it's really great. Although, now I'm, I feel sorry, because what are these people going to do now when it's getting colder and colder?
Blankets.
Gonna bring parkas and
Yeah.
blankets.
Hey,
And the
Rick,
knitter can make lots of hats.
You made me think of the Boy Scout project. I should have told you an update. I can't remember his last name. Roman. He came to us a while back to replace one of the bridges in Bittner Park.
Oh, yes.
The bridge on that main trail. So I'm submitting the application for him to the Wetlands Commission this week. He has a little design diagram he gave me, emailed to me over the weekend. And so it has to be in by Friday, the application, for them to address it to receive it next week. So he's starting to move ahead on that. I think he first came to us maybe back February or something. And it was before the coronavirus hit, and all these scout projects got put on hold because they couldn't do them.
Right.
So he's starting to move forward with that one now.
Good.
Rick, just one more thing, just because you said Bittner Gate, it made me think about it. And this could be a really dumb question, because I've lived here my entire life and have been driving here for a very long time. But the circle at Bittner Park, is that not a typical roundabout? So you drive in and you go around the circle to drive out? Or do you just let people go anywhere?
Well, maybe arrows would make some sense to help people understand
Yeah,
that.
maybe arrows would, because I cut the circle. I admit it. There's no problem.
But they don't work at the community center. The arrows don't work there very well.
I
don't
tend
have
to
a library either.
hand gestures Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday while I'm there for baseball about how to drive through a roundabout. But it might be because I'm European and I've driven in France and Scotland a lot too. I know how to drive around a roundabout, but apparently Guilford.
Yeah. But you know what it is there is, because I drive around it, but I have recently driven right out when there's nobody in the park.
There's nobody there. That's what I do.
When there's I know, but when there's nobody there, like I would never do that during a Little League game or something. Or whatever.
Oh, you're one of those, Tara.
I've turned into that, I guess, because there's no one there. But I think the reason people do that is just because it's off center. Like, you know, you have to like go around it. It's not that you come to the middle and it's normal. It's like off center.
Yeah.
And
I agree. There was someone at the Baldwin school pickup line, huge line going in. That is 2 lanes, one way in, one way out. Some parent must have thought they had to get there before all of us, drove down
Middle.
past all of us. That's not even the middle. That's like the departure lane. So needless to say, we all got a message about how to operate in the parking lines. But I had
I
friends
know.
texting me saying, who was that? I'm like, I don't know. But that,
I mean, this is the first year I utilized Bittner for baseball as much as we did, because usually we were at Adams or at Baldwin. So I would say 90% of my games this summer and this fall have been at Bittner. And I've never seen Bittner so busy, between the skate park, disc golf, soccer going on for the high school, and then Little League. I mean, it's awesome to see, and the playground's always being utilized. But it just scares me how many people go the wrong way and how fast they're going after games, because everyone's in a rush to get out. And then you've got games starting, so people coming in, and it's just like, one of these days I'm going to sit there and just be like, oh my God, really?
Why don't we put a few arrows?
yeah.
I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of phone calls for this conversation.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Or, you know, or one of those nice little roundabout signs, you know?
Yeah, I just gonna,
I know.
yeah,
I mean, I even though I admitted to going the wrong way, I never do that in crowded times. But I agree with you, Claire, that people.
yeah, Rose, you're
Yeah,
right.
it's not really clear that it is one way. I mean, there's nothing that says that it is.
No.
You know? So, I
Right.
mean, it's not like anywhere's wrong doing that, because there's nothing that indicates that's what you're supposed to do. It's just kind of like you make some
Well,
assumptions.
that's why I asked, because I was like, well, maybe I'm just
No, it's not
doing
you.
it, you know, like, because I mean, there is no sign, and that side is wider. So, I mean, 2 cars can get through. So, I mean, it does make sense to want to go that way. But then my feeling is, why have that center circle then?
Why do we have that? I mean, I know I was around when we did Bittner, but why? Was it just for aesthetics? I mean, was it meant to be a traffic calming thing? I mean, do you remember, Rick?
I don't. It was before I started here, but you know, that's where the big Bittner sign is, right there in the middle of it. There's some plantings. In fact, I talked to Tony about, we got to cut those grasses down. They're kind of blocking the sign now. We got to do some work there. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's aesthetic reasons or what, but
Yeah, just put a roundabout sign there. I'm sure the Public Works has a sign hanging around down there, a roundabout sign.
I
Probably
mean,
not.
if the police aren't worried about the traffic, then just ignore me. But like,
Yeah.
as someone who uses it all the time and sees the traffic, then I'm just like, okay, well, who's
Yeah,
right or wrong?
Claire, just so you know, if they put up the sign and they disregard the sign, they're still not breaking the law because it's in a parking lot.
It's not a parking lot. That's right. It's
Yeah,
parking lot.
it's not enforceable.
It's not a town road.
you know,
Not a public
typically,
highway.
you know, if they think that the width and all that is you know, wise to do this, I mean, I think it is. But on the other hand, if there are a lot of kids in the playground, now you're bringing traffic kind of closer to the playground, you know? So I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is for that. I don't think it's wide enough for two-way traffic.
I didn't know that if the signs don't matter, Lawrence, if it's a parking lot.
Yeah, there's only certain things you can enforce in a parking lot. It's like traveling fast, driving while intoxicated, reckless driving. There's only like 3 or 4 things you can enforce in a parking lot. But so if they disregard that sign, unless they're going fast,
Right.
they're not breaking any law.
So we don't have to stop at Big Y.
In a parking lot.
At all
What's
those.
that, Claire?
That's a private parking lot.
If there's a
Okay.
one-way sign in a parking lot and I go against that, they can't get me for it?
No, it's not enforceable. And now if you're driving fast, like excessively fast, or you're driving intoxicated, or you're reckless driving, do something reckless, then police officer can enforce that in a parking lot. But if they just disregard the sign and no other, Rick, how about can you just take, I mean, I haven't been up there in a while, but how about just taking the island down? I mean, just making
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's really there just for aesthetics, I mean, we can move the sign, but I was just curious. Like, I just assumed because the circle was there that it was considered a roundabout. So I treated it like one, but I mean, if it's not enforceable, then why have it? Let's just make it a 2-lane road and put your line for a 2-lane road.
But
Rick,
make
just off the top,
it
Rick,
so
off the top of
that you
your
have to
head.
drive on one side of it or go around it on the other.
Rick, just, I mean, you guys, I don't go up there often, but just thinking about what it looks like, would it be peaceful just to take, you know, when we get time, just to take that out of there and just put it a 2-lane road and make it,
I
does
think
that make any sense, or
no.
is it necessary to have it there?
to me, it would just encourage people to drive faster out of the lot.
There you go. Good point. Very good point.
You
I
know,
mean, it's
it's
kind of nice having the sign there. It's a big sort of, well, a big, I think
Yeah.
it's 13 feet long or
It's a
something
big
like that wide. The Bittner Park, and, with the plantings in front of it. I mean, it's, if we cut the grasses down and make it look nice, it's kind of aesthetic. It's a nice sign.
Have there ever been any accidents by people driving the wrong way, out the wrong direction, or whatever? Maybe, has there been any problems? Maybe we're trying to solve something that's not really a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I would, just off that, I would say put a sign there, and just for liability reasons, let's say something does happen, at least the Park and Rec can say, hey, there's a sign there. It's telling you to go to the right, and you completely disregarded it. And you didn't break the law, but, for civilly, you get, sued civilly. At least we can say, hey, there's a sign there. You just disregarded it. That's your fault.
And I also think, Ricky, you said something about like that routes traffic closer to the playground, but there's cars that are parked there. So I don't think that's an issue at all. There's cars parked right along the line of the playground, and there are always cars there if there are kids on the playground, really. So
is it possible to just put some like arrows on the roads to direct people to go into the right, to stay to the right and not sort of cut over the other side of that?
Well, that's the simplest thing. It's a simple, easy solution to do that. It's very inexpensive. We could try that. So it works. If you guys think, I mean, I could get a hold of one of the police lieutenants, meet with them up there, and see if they have any suggestions about it.
Yes,
idea.
if they do. And if not, I mean, I think it's just a simple arrow on the road would tell people they have to stay to the right.
Yeah.
And then if that doesn't work, we could keep going back to it and figure it out.
Yeah, I'll see if I can meet with one of them up there next week.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, somebody.
No, I said thank you.
Oh. Anything else, guys? Are we good till next month?
I am.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Somebody second it.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you all. Stay safe, have fun.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thank you,
month.
Rick.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Good
Take
night.
care.
See you next time.
Yeah. Leave meeting.
Oh, I got to stop the recording here.